Hello, StyleBox Corporation. Thank you so much for having us today. On behalf of KKSH, we are honored to be here in hopes of addressing your needs in performance management and creating a competitive customer service experience for your clients. KKSH Consulting is a woman-owned firm known for tailoring performance solutions that have been proven to be successful beyond the scope of the initial issue. KKSH was formed many years ago as we all matriculated through the same master's program at George Mason University. Our four-person team focuses on industrial psychology and how to utilize its methods to quantify, qualify, and predict how individual differences can positively impact your organization. Here at KKSH, we are an accountable and accomplished team that honors the sophistication of a larger firm, guarantees satisfaction, and provides customized performance management systems. Who are the creators of KKSH? KKSH is spearheaded by a four-member executive team. Katie Ritchie is an expert in developing exceptional training experiences. I myself have vast experience in creating competitive customer service experience for large organizations. Sarah Webster is our human resource expert with 20 years of experience, providing real-world solutions with a focus on humanity and big data. Finally, Heather Carter has a keen eye for critical analysis and statistical evidence in identifying change opportunities in your organization. Understanding is an art, and not everyone is an artist. However, KKSH are the Picassos of understanding. Here at KKSH, we understand that StyleBox is on a mission to change the way people find clothes they love by combining technology with the personal touch of style experts. We also understand that StyleBox consists of 7,000 associates worldwide, ranging from the United States to Japan. KKSH values the need for StyleBox to have a cohesive performance management system to address your declining customer service ratings. The first steps that KKSH will take in fulfilling a better customer service experience for your clientele is customer experience mapping. We need to investigate the avenues in which your current structures are yielding poor customer service performance. This will entail reviewing past feedback, mapping complaints to different departments, and providing a critical evaluation of omni-channel outreach responses. I will be handing this presentation over to Kate Ritchie, and she will talk more with you about the clientele experience.
All right, if we can go back to that previous slide. Thank you so much, Heather. So the future is integration. We don't want to know just what is happening in the moment on one avenue channel for your client experience, because the fact of the matter is that there are four different completely separate experiences that could be one that is holding you back from achieving that service excellence, or it could be a combination of all four. So here we laid out our omni-channel satisfaction feedback plan. Your clients either use your app based on their mobile devices to provide feedback at every completion of their interaction. They can use the live chat feature for general inquiries, which might be where your sales or whatever AI automation you're using is able to gain that new client. Your email communications with StyleBox customer service representatives responding to inquiries, and these could even include complaints there, and the phone calls with the customer service representatives. So through being able to evaluate all four of these channels at the same time and get consistent feedback on each avenue, separate but based on the same criteria, we should have a better picture of opportunities for StyleBox to be able to improve. And examples of those interactions. So it's not just coming from the client, because we do know that everybody has a bad day every now and then, and we'll come back to that full circle towards the end of this. But the client service representative is also going to be performing a self-appraisal and evaluating the ease of the transaction process. This is going to happen at 3 different times in the client experience. It's at the upon completion of the initial order, after the receipt of StyleBox items where the customer gives feedback, and if they have any inquiries to the client service representative and upon completion of the transaction. From that, there's constant communication going to our identified client service leads, and they are going to be able to provide real-time feedback and coaching opportunities to them to even prevent issues from happening. So we'll head back to Miss Courtney right now.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate that. The performance management system at KKSH will cover 4 major points. So the first point, the system will help direct reports, set achievable goals that will promote personal and professional satisfaction. Secondly, the performance management system will provide measured and accurate feedback that will help StyleBox members adjust behaviors while reaching their set goals. Third, the performance management system will provide self-evaluation that will equip employees to become accountable, confident, and accomplished. And lastly, rewards and compensation will help validate employees' hard work and effort. KKSH's knowledge of needs analysis will provide solid data to evidence areas of opportunity for StyleBox client satisfaction experience. While it's science and not magic, you might call us magicians when we're through. I hand this presentation over to Heather Carter as she will deliver or delve into the steps and measures of developing performance management plan for StyleBox.
Thank you so much, Courtney. Hi, everyone. Statistics are like bikinis. What they reveal is suggestive, but what they conceal is vital. KKSH leverages statistical data to identify areas where positive change can occur at StyleBox. Steps and measures. KKSH's performance management system addresses the specific needs of StyleBox's customer support agents and team leads. This combined and unified approach is achieved through a 4-point measurement tool. First, SMART goals. Second, integrated feedback. Third, continuous evaluation and growth. And lastly, rewards. SMART is an acronym and contains 5 steps for success. First, S represents specific goals. StyleBox's performance management system must focus on 2 specific goals and skills vital to client satisfaction. These are customer service and effective communication. The KKSH performance management system will be able to monitor these criteria in real time, which allows for the identification of potential areas needed for change and opportunities for correction. Next, the M, The M in SMART stands for measurable. In order to create metrics, KKSH understands that the ratings of client satisfaction, customer service, and the ability to evaluate effective communication skills must be easy to understand and easy to compare against best practices. The benefits of a graphic rating scale include easy to interpret signs that are integrated into StyleBox's existing call center system and take less than a second to complete. Next, the A stands for achievable. In order to make this long-term successful solution for StyleBox, we need to have achievable goals for improvements in customer service over the long term. This means creating additional opportunities to provide training in the case that gaps exist outside of the operational flow. Next, KKSH expects pain points, and we understand that everyone occasionally has a bad day. It's important that StyleBox associates receive adequate training and achievable timelines to take corrective action in response to poor satisfaction feedback. Forgive me. Next, the R in SMART stands for relevant. The performance management system must take into account the human experience, and that not all humans are ethical in their service complaints. This is relevant because StyleBox CSRs, for them, participation pays off. The StyleBox CSRs will be asked to rank their experience before and after each client experience communication. They are encouraged to actively discuss difficulties with supervisors. Lastly, the T in SMART stands for time bound. Knowing the need to enact change, we recommend real-time feedback integration for accurate data comparison. We also appreciate that change is a process, but our techniques and methods allow for an immediate increase in client service ratings. Sometimes you can't see yourself clearly until you see yourself through the eyes of others. Our 4-point system changes the optics for everyone at StyleBox. We equip teams to become self-aware and identify areas where change is needed. Thank you. Next, I will hand things over to our HR and data integration specialist, Sarah Webster.
Thanks, Heather. So today we'll talk a little bit about the actual employee appraisal and whatnot. So one thing we want to note is that supervisor and client feedback is fundamental, and that's great. But another thing that's really important is self-evaluation. With self-evaluation, it will empower employees, and that will result in accountability, confidence, and accomplishment. So we believe in the power of data. We know data talks. And with our data collection, it's as simple as thumbs up or thumbs down. So meets expectations or does not meet expectations. Regarding the evaluation, our development purpose, the reason for this and what we're doing, employees are going to complete their self-appraisals. Once they complete their self-appraisals, the supervisors will consider feedback from them and also the client satisfaction surveys during that period of performance. Last of all, again, client satisfaction is assessed for factors such as initial order placement, receipt of items, and other things. So evaluations are going to resemble a graphic rating scale. The question measures are going to be, the questions measure tasks completed by client service representatives, and it's going to account for customer service, effective communication, and other KSAs or knowledge, skills, and abilities. Those are required for success. The rating scale is going to be a meets expectations or doesn't meet expectations, so the thumbs up or the thumbs down. And we're going to have a combination of objective and subjective measures. So as you can see below, you see the objective measure is that an employee is rated based on the number of calls dropped during a specific time period. So that's actually something that you are able to measure, and there are guidelines for. Something subjective is going to be the rating employee on a friendliness or professionalism that would be observed through the eyes of the supervisor and the caller or the customer. That's very subjective. So those are the kind of things we are going to rate people on in our project, in our measure. So our training is going to have a SMART focus. So again, as Heather mentioned, SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound or time relevant. SMART focus, our StyleBox managers, client representatives, and client service leads are going to be trained in those SMART goals, and they'll also be trained in rating error bias. After this training, they should be able to identify and gather information, or identify and gather clarification of measurable criteria, focusing on the relationship between individual performance and client satisfaction, and also communicate, identify and correct influence of judgmental bias in communications, and communicate relevant information in an objective and constructive manner. Now, there are a couple of bonuses to this training as well. So for hiring managers, you're going to get refreshed on those crucial knowledge, skills, and abilities that are required for exceptional client interactions and customer service, which is going to pay off in the recruiting field. So that's one added bonus. Another added bonus is going to be that the training provides Net Promoter Score integration into the performance management system. So regarding our timeline, I know that you want things done quickly. We've got 2 months until integration, so we really do have to stick to a strict schedule. We're going to require adherence to that because we need to do our needs analysis, our global training, and get that on-demand video available for you. So let's talk about the timeline of our system implementation. Week 1 is going to be mandatory training for all StyleBox employees. This would include multiple sessions for each time zone and a recorded session for on-demand access. Weeks 2 and 3, will be the employee self-evaluations completed. And then weeks 4 through 8, we'll have the supervisors evaluating the direct reports based on self-evaluations, personal observations, and customer feedback. Then they'll discuss with the employees, focusing on coaching versus employment actions at this time. About that initial training. That initial training is 90 minutes long. It's going to be facilitated by StyleBox leadership. However, we will be there to provide help, which is why you see our names kind of in that training schedule. It will be adapted for global presentation. And you'll see to the right of the page the proposed training schedule. We'll talk a little bit about, intro to performance management, performance rating scale, identifying performance, and how to set those SMART goals and objectives. Also, reinforcement for this training is built in through the setting of the SMART goals and objectives, knowledge verification through quiz and role-playing scenarios upon completion of training, and also continuous monitoring and communication of successes and struggles in the employee's daily workflow. And while this looks good on paper, words without actions are worthless. Next, I would like to introduce Kate to discuss implementation.
Excellent. Thanks, Sarah. All right, so after all this wonderful planning and evaluating exactly what KKSH is going to do in this customized performance management system, it's finally time to tell you how we're going to do it. So this is the phase following immediately after the performance conversations. We've done our work analysis and we are ready to step to it. So KKSH recommends minimum weekly meetings between the supervisors and direct reports to discuss the performance standards and the guidelines that are set out. And this is based on those SMART goals and objectives. The schedule of weekly meetings should last for 30 days. And after the first month, meetings should continue as needed. Supervisor feedback needs to occur in real time, because what is the value of feedback if it's not happening immediately after an action so that we can correct it and coach towards the proper behaviors? So this is our goal, and we know that this is StyleBox's goal as well. We want to improve at the individual and team level every day. That's why this 360 approach comes in handy. We want to improve the observational skills of the StyleBox's supervisors, which they're going to glean from the trainings that we provide initially. So they're going to know what behaviors, actions, and vocabulary that they need to focus on to create this service excellence atmosphere and experience for the clients. We're going to help them to reduce or eliminate judgmental biases through education and trainings to increase self-awareness and enhance the communications of their team's performance. So we want our customer service representatives and our leads to be proud of what they've been able to accomplish, and for them to measure themselves against the success of their own competitors within StyleBox, so that there is no competition outside that would measure up to them. StyleBox's rapid growth necessitates efficient recruiting. And why reinvent the wheel? So this is a tool that we are looking at to help StyleBox gain insight into applicants. It's called the CCC SRT. It's a pre-hiring assessment. Y'all can read, but it takes about 45 minutes. It's self-administered online. It's validated, reliable. It's a trusted test to be able to get a good idea of who will be a good candidate to work in that customer service atmosphere. So beyond just measuring the soft skills that are required to perform that job, it puts a gauge onto an applicant's ability to manage conflict, their reaction to intimidation, criticism, stressful situations, and their ability to move past that after the whole interaction is gone or completed. Sorry about that. And then internally, we want to coach and grow and see these beautiful careers forming within StyleBox. And what better way to do that than to identify people internally to become customer service team leaders. And then they might be people that you might be able to tap onto to move into other departments or on up the ladder there at StyleBox. So the Coaching and Training Attitude Assessment, or the CTAA 360, provides a team comparison report. It's easy to interpret. It helps to improve coachability, provides graphs that are easy to interpret as well, and share information and compare against other candidates, and detailed narration regarding their ability. It's a 10 to 15 minute measure, and you can see the quote there, designed to allow direct reports, peers, and group members to assess the degree to which the person is open to feedback, help, and coaching. With any sort of business process, and especially in response to new systems, there are going to be some gaps or hurdles that we're going to need to jump over, but we are prepared for it. So here is StyleBox's individual difference measure for KKSH. Will help you to manage these obstacles while we are there, but it's also going to help you to constantly evolve your performance management tool. By following these steps that you see here, the congruence with strategy, thoroughness, practicality, meaningfulness, specificity, discriminability, reliability and validity, inclusiveness, fairness, and acceptability. All of these draw back to the SMART goals. So if you can answer each of these steps and draw them back to your goals, you're going to be able to identify a clear measure that needs to be integrated into your performance management system. So you virtually have an infinite capability in an initial setup for a performance management system. All right, and here's the big payoff. KKSH's uniquely tailored performance management system will not only identify the crucial client service needs, but it provides opportunities for measurable, proactive, service excellent performers for years to come. StyleBox is going to gain a spike and then sustained increase in client satisfaction ratings, increased employee satisfaction ratings, brand loyalty, improved employee retention, which we all know saves you bucket loads of money in the long run, smart recruitment decisions preventing turnover cost, another added bonus, empowered and goal-oriented StyleBox teams. With KKSH's 4-point system, the outside competition drops as StyleBox teams compete against each other to be the best of the best. And your overall outcomes, StyleBox is going to have improved client and associate satisfaction thanks to that 360-degree management system. Direction with defined goals and shared visions, a clear path to reach those goals, and unlimited growth. So the motivated workforce that is going to come out of utilizing this performance management system it's going to break all the barriers for StyleBox. And now it's question time, and we have answers for you. Moving past that, since this is recorded, fancy little graphic. We don't have to stop with the 4 countries that were already in StyleBox. The world is your oyster. So we're halfway there.